Last time, our protagonist Kim Yu-won was sent back in time, chosen by his god and warrior friends to save the world. Using his past life's memories to maximize his achievements and rapidly level up, requesting a meeting with the tutorial administrator after finding out the lackey was bribed by Olympus. Yu-won ignores the administrator, who asks how he knew of his existence, instead reciting the first law of the tutorial. All information regarding the tutorial must not be given by the administrator or the tower, but Yu-won then exposing the lackey's connection to Olympus. The lackey choking on their words as the administrator stares them down with burning eyes, then crushing the lackey into nothing but a blood smear, cursing Olympus for ruining yet another thing in the tower. Yu-won, ignoring the admin's words of thanks, states the second law of the tutorial. All achievements must be compensated by a reward of equal value. Yu-won, having used his points to call on the admin and get rid of a corrupt lackey, asking, "What do you think?" The admin lets out a hearty laugh, thinking over what to give as a reward, then extending his hand to Yu-won, who thinks it must be points, disappointed. However, as the two grasp hands, Yu-won is imbued with magical power, obtaining the skill Master of Mana, increasing all aspects of his mana usage and raising his magic power by 5. The admin then leaving to deal with the rest of the lackeys. The now alone Yu-won, stunned that he possesses an S+ rank skill in the tutorial, though the proficiency is low. Then summoning a mana blast in his hand to test his limits, but with less than 40 magic power, the blast goes out of control, rampaging around the underground space. Yu-won satisfied with his strength despite its instability for now, then clenching his fists, reminding himself that this is not enough to be satisfied with 13.5 hours remaining, charging forward into the remaining horde of earthworms. Back on the surface, those remaining discuss the state of the country, when someone finds a man returning from outside the safe zone, one of them yelling in warning to Yu-won, but unfazed he stomps down on the head of a monster, turning back to the crowd, telling them to continue their meaningless discussion. Yu-won entering the safe zone to the welcome of Myung-hoon, but observing the situation he confronts the absurd bastard who forced people outside, risking their lives for rations. Myung-hoon declaring that this is what it takes to survive in this new world. One must be shameless. Yu-won then leaving once again with the start of the third tutorial, leaving the last words of "I won't interfere, but don't cross the line," no matter what line it is. The third tutorial requires participants to hunt the monsters in the district and acquire 50 essences within 3 days, or the relevant districts will be destroyed, with the swelling gate in the middle of the city to open at the end of the 3 days. Yu-won emptying his bag, which contained 132 mana essence, into the satchels that were given, making his way toward the myriad of monsters before him, summoning a ball of mana above his palm, then pouring more mana into the blast until it is complete, registering Mana Blast as a skill, and then launching the magic attack into the approaching pack of monsters, decimating them all. The single attack draining his mana and hard to control due to his current stats and proficiency. Yu-won then collecting the mana essence amongst the aftermath, surprised to see the frightened remnants of the monster wave, pulling out his knife determined not to waste the remaining time. On the second day of the third tutorial, we find a party of 3 level 10 participants making their way through the underground station. Han Jun-ho lamenting that they must hide in this spooky place since only 400 people still remain of the initial 1,400. Earning a sigh from Kang Sung-chan, the trailing Lim Ju-yeon telling them to wait, spotting a convenience store in the distance. Having caught a lucky break, they happily make their way toward it. Jun-ho running ahead, unaware of the giant spider lurking above his head, the man meeting his end, head eaten, with a pack of monsters emerging from the shadows. The remaining 2 quickly summoning their weapons, tense with fear. Overwhelmed, the 2 struggle to fend them off, suffering a bite and wounds in the process. Ju-yeon contemplating their death as a rat launches forward, the monster then bursting with blood from a mana-infused attack from behind. Yu-won clenching a can in his grasp, ticked off at the noise interrupting his sleep. Ju-yeon tears up at the inconceivable sight of a man killing a monster with a mere tin can. Yu-won sending the head of a zombie flying with a throw of another. Then taking a fighting stance with his knife in hand, exploding forward and dispatching the remaining monsters in a chain of attacks. The two survivors expressing their thanks to him, weak from their wounds. Seeing their state, Yu-won chucks a small bottle to them to use on their wounds, asking what their stamina is. Song-chan answering around 17. Yu-won explaining that they should survive, though he might not be able to use that arm in the future. Since the tutorial began, Yu-won, busy slaughtering monsters to level up, has hardly slept, only recently being able to thanks to the scentless powder he bought, preparing to leave immediately, thinking those two will only slow him down. Ju-yeon warning him of the dangers that await if he stays down here. Him replying that this is only his resting area and that he has separate hunting grounds. On the second floor, the two, having followed Yu-won, react to the separate dungeon and its chain structure. Yu-won asking them why they followed, knowing how dangerous it is here. Ju-yeon explaining that outside they formed groups and started killing each other in distrust, so they ran. Yu-won replying that even if he doesn't kill them, down here they will end up dead. Then, extending an olive branch, he gives them a deal with a smile. Song-chan now finding himself screaming for help as he runs away from a serpent monster. Yu-won dashing in and stabbing it right in the head through its mouth, jumping off that one and onto another behind, dicing it up with a blitz of slashes, whilst Song-chan watches on in awe of his ability, with them gaining 50 essence in just 2 hours. Handing over 5 of the 6 from the 2 monsters before noting that Ju-yeon is a bit late. Her then arriving with a horde of monsters on her tail, running for her life. Yu-won darting toward her and the monsters she lured, with the two also joining in on the hunt and leveling up. And after splitting the essence, both of them now have 50 essence each. Ju-yeon thanking Yu-won for their success, but he declines, noting with them he hunted 50% faster and collected a ton of essence. Yu-won then leading the two back to the surface, as it's about time for the gate to be activated. Back on the surface, soon to be open, the gate has turned red. Crowds of people surrounding it, with one of the groups of people led by Myung-hoon, who threatens a smaller group to give up their essence. The crowd then split apart by the arrival of Yu-won and the other two. Yu-won placing down a box full of essences, stunning everyone present. Yu-won having drawn a circle in the ground around him, announcing that he doesn't need these and he will be trading them to anyone, 100 points for 1 essence. Myung-hoon then trying to take advantage of the numbers, stirs up hostility in the crowd, claiming he must have stole these from people and is now trying to extort them. Ju-yeon and Song-chan arguing back that he has no right to say that and they know nothing about Yu-won. Myung-hoon triggered by their words, ordering his followers to kill them all. Yu-won cleanly beheading 2 leading the charge the moment they enter his circle. Yu-won declaring that no one has to buy from him, but the moment you cross the line for other reasons than buying, you die. Myung-hoon and his group not heeding the warning, as he orders them to kill him. Yu-won with his arcane sword activated, dispatching the swarming men with ease. The scene of the slaughter leaving Myung-hoon trembling as he gets snapped back to the reality of this world, then turning to flee, thinking he'll be safe if he doesn't enter the circle. But Yu-won with a cold and menacing smile states, "Do you think you'll be safe there?" before flashing forward and separating Myung-hoon's head from his body, then relocating his box of essences from the grotesque scene, with a leader from one of the groups raising his hand, declaring that he will buy some essence. Entering Yu-won's new circle and extending his hand, asking for 7 with a please. And entering the gate, disappearing inside with the conditions met. This scene resulting in a spending spree, the crowd of people selling their stats, skills, and items for points to trade with Yu-won, who thinks whilst this is better than them dying right here, they will realize how precious the stats they lost were as they climbed the tower. Though, thanks to them, he now has 167,400 points. Them finding Ju-yeon and Song-chan still waiting around, wishing to go with him. Yuan replying that he's not going as he has no essence left. The two panicking over his clumsiness, but Yuan is unbothered. Yuan telling them to go now before it gets chaotic, separating from the pair, who then enter the gate. Yuan noting that the next tutorial must be defense, and that this area will soon be a warfield, with 1 hour remaining in the tutorial. So he decides to relocate, and calls for the store aloud. But instead of a lackey, he finds himself greeted by the floor admin, who explains that he's here because they're in the process of recruiting new lackeys. Then opening the store and telling him he has what he needs, so speak up. Yuan first buying a mid-grade storage personal inventory for 10,000 points. Then an Arctic steel sword for 50,000 points. Immediately putting the sword in his new storage by giving the command inventory, also buying a pyromancy robe and magic nullification shield for 60,000 and 20,000 points apiece. Equipping these two, thinking with these items he'll be able to go to the higher floors of the tower. Additionally buying 4 ice crystals for 20,000 points. Finally ending his spending spree with a well-sharpened sword for 2,000 points. Yuan, now with only 5,400 points left, admiring his basic sword, which the admin notes is the complete opposite to the previous items he bought. Also saying that with this, there won't be any participants that can do a thing to him. That is, if they're participants. These words catching Yuan's attention and giving him pause. The admin then disappearing in a purple flash, saying he looks forward to it. Tutorial number 3 finally coming to an end, with the time hitting 0. With this destruction, the 176th giant begins, flames erupting throughout the region, destroying everything in their wake. A horde of trash glass demons called Skull sprouting from the flames. Yuan, sword and shield in hand, nonchalantly approaching, prepared for the arrival of the one described as destruction, appearing from the pillar of flames reaching the skies. The low-class demon, Suratra. If you enjoyed the vid, like, sub, and comment below. Peace.